Hi guys, and welcome to Python number-only widget. Let me show you guys how this works. I'm going to just exit out and enter whatever kind of character in there. If you click on these validates, you end up with this message telling you the data you enter is invalid. You can always reset though and enter the correct numeric data. Click on validate. There. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to exit out and let's start a new project altogether. So first of all, I'm going to increase the font size so that you guys can see what I'm about to do. And let's just make it about 20. That's okay. So start by importing the following from Tkinter. I'm going to import all of the necessary components required, and the next importation I'm going to put in place is going to be for Tkinter message. So let's go say Tkinter dot message box. There we go. All right, those two libraries are in place. Then the next thing is I'm going to just call this numbers only. That is the name of my class. There. Now let's declare a function. This function is going to be underscore underscore. Let's get it initialized underscore underscore. I'm going to make that self comma root. There we go. Make sure you enter a column in there. Now the next thing is I'm going to just call that set.root equals root. That will be the name of my application. Dot root. Okay, and the name is root. Now, followed by, let's create a title for it. I'm going to just call that set.root title, and that is going to be, let's just call that entry widget validation. There we go. Now the next thing is going to be, let's make that dot configure, and that is going to be for my background color. Let's say bg that is equals. You can just write in cadet blue. The choice is yours, cadet blue. There we go. Or you can enter either you write cadet blue. If you know the hexadecimal value, you can just say hash. That is going to be 5F9 EA0. That is also cadet blue. I will demonstrate that as time goes on. Let's just round it off for now and try that out. Let's say if underscore underscore name underscore underscore equals, then column underscore underscore main name main underscore underscore, and enter column in there. If that is root equals tk, and the application name equals numbers only, and the number only will be a pride of, then we just say root dot main loop there. Before I go any further, I'm just going to save this first, then we'll try it out. Let's say file, save as, paste that right in here. I'm just going to call it py underscore that, and I'm just going to save it right here. There we go. So let's try this out before then correct this. So I'm going to run this now. Let's see. There we go. Look at that. That's cadet blue. But if you want, you can also change it. It's either you enter it as cadet blue using the hexadecimal notation, or you can just, let's say I copy this and I comment it. I just want to show you guys that both works. I'm going to comment one of them out and change this to cadet blue. There. And save and run. You see that? So I've just proved my point that both of them works. Okay. So let's proceed. So the next thing is I'm going to now define my geometry. As you can see how small it is with the default value given to it. So let's say self.geometry. Come right down here. Dot geometry. So the geometry would be to do with the size of the form. So I'm going to make that about 804 by 470. Let's say plus 300. That is going to be the coordinate plus. Let's make that another 300. Maybe I can get it centered like that. Close that. And let's run this and see how it's going to look like. There we go. Look at that. Okay. So if you want to get it centered properly, you can go ahead and do that. All right. The next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to just create a frame here. So that will be for my frame. Then I will also create buttons and so on. Variables, buttons, and so on. So come right down here. Paste another one. Copy that. Paste another one. Okay, this, let's say this is going to be for my variable. And maybe the other one might be for widgets and so on, then buttons. So here, let's just say widget. Okay, so let's start by taking care of the frame. So in the first place, I'm going to say, I'll just call that main frame. And that is going to be the widgets or frame. There. Our main frame is going to be a child of self.root. This very one here. And close that. So if you want, let me just put the border. I'm going to say that one is about 10. Yeah. Now the next thing is to round up this mainframe. Let's say dot read. Yeah. So that's the mainframe taken care of. If I run that now, you guys should be able to see that anyway. So let's copy this. I'm going to create another frame. This other frame would be for the title. I can just call that prop, something like that. Tops with an S. And run this off as well. And tops is going to be a child of the mainframe. Right. Yeah, child of the mainframe. And top, yeah, leave that as that. Let's go for the width. That's going to be about maybe 780, comma. Then height, let's go for about 350. And let's get it raised to make that equals 3. There we go. And instead of getting it in a grid, I'm going to get it packed. And I'll just say it's going to be right at the top. So we'll say size equals top. There. Come in here, get that saved. And let's correct this. Then we can run it. Actually, TH. So I'm going to Just save and run. There we go. That's how it's looking now. Close that. Okay, so that is that. In fact, let's add this range here. Let's paste that there. So that will give me another. And in that case, I'm just going to increase this to about 800. Yeah, and come right down here and just run. Let's see. There. Okay, you can see I have two border around it. But this is about 400, so let's make this maybe 400 plus. And this about 860. Let's run that and see. Okay, look at that. Looking good. So end that. Now, the next thing is I'm just going to enter my title here. So let's say self dot LDL title, something like that. Title, that is going to be a label. And this label is a child of tabs, comma, the font, that will be equal. So the font will be, I'm going to make that vertical, it's an A. Yeah, that's the right spelling. Then it's a up comma, and I'll just make that about 60 comma. No, I will also make it bold. So close that off here. Now, what text do I want to make? So I'm going to say text equals. Let's say validate entry widget. There we go. Close that. Now, also, in fact, let's get a justified center. Okay, let's say justify. That will be equals center. Oh, yeah, close that. And let's see. I'm going to run it first before I do another thing. But first of all, let's run this up. Paste. Dot. Grid. And the role is going to be, yeah, it's going to be 0, 0 because it's inside here anyway. So just leave that. And I'll leave that like that for now and see if it requires any amendment. I'll take care of that. Okay, so let's come up here and get it run. So run. Yeah, look at that. Maybe I should change the background color. Okay, let's change the background color because this is going to soon come down. I can just copy this. BG equals that. Grab all of this. So typing it all out and paste. Right, so yeah, look at that. Okay, now that seems to have a little bit of space in here. I would like you to actually wedge the whole form or frame. But for now, let's keep going. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to create a label frame. Okay, a label frame. I can copy this for now. Just change it around. Come right down here, paste. Now let's just call that member, maybe member name, something like that. Member name. Member name frame. Okay. Now member name will be known as label frame. The widget is called label frame. So in here, I want it to be a child of mainframe. Grab all of that, paste that in here. Now the border is 10 as well. The width, let's say the width is going to be about the width and the height. Now I'm going to grab all of this, paste that right there. So let's say about 200 for now. We can always change it around. And here, there. When I run it, I'll be able to tell. Okay, that is fine. Now the next thing is I'm going to grab hold of everything in here. Here, grab hold of that. The text is going to be the same. Enter a command here, press enter, paste. And change this to about 20. The fonts about 20. The text that I want in it, let's just say valid name, something like that, or valid number, something like that. Okay, so let's get it packed as well. Come in here. So it needs to be packed, and it's going to be right at the top. Right. I think that will do for now. Let's see. I'm going to try it out before I proceed. Okay, look at that. Right. Now I'm going to create another one. That will be for the button. So grab all of all this command here, paste, and change this to button. Yeah, just put button there. Yeah, and the button widget, button widget frame, whatever. Yeah, there we go. And this is going to be a child of the main frame as well, but it will be right at the bottom. So let's say bottom. Okay, I'm going to try it out. Let me reduce this first. Let's make it about 150. And run. There we go. Look at that. But this seems to be too high. So let's reduce this. 100. Let's see. Okay. Not too bad. I'll sort this out. Come in here. Maybe change this to about 500. Yeah. Okay. Now that is done, let's enter. Maybe create some variables and then start off with the widget. Then go straight for the function. So variables. Let's enter the variables. Have a good look at the lines of code, guys. Bring it down. Now let's create our variables. So first one, I'm going to just call that num1. Num1 is going to be a string variable, and the second one is going to be num2, and so on. Three of those. One is going to be answer. So this is answer, and this is number2. Num2. Okay. Variables taken care of. Now underneath here, I'm just going to create all my widgets here. Copy this, right down. All right. Okay, now let's create some widgets that will go inside or that will go on the respective frame. So the first widget, I'm going to call that self dot lbl num1. Yeah, lbl num1. There we go. and that is going to be a label, and this label is a child of member name. Paste that in there. And the next thing is going to be, let's copy this, the font. And please guys, can you kindly subscribe to this my channel? This is my second channel. That would be great if you guys can do that for me. Now the text content that will go in here, I'll just call it number 1 there. And the border, let's make that about maybe 7. Okay, that's that done, and let's run this up. Paste, and that is going to be grid. So that will be grid, and here row, that will be equals 0, comma, column equals 0 as well. And let's just say strictly to the west equals west. Okay, let me try this out. Run it. That is that right there. Okay, that's good. So let's close that. We need to now take care of the text box. I'm just going to copy this and change it around. Paste that in here. And this is going to be txt, or you can just call it, let's say EENT, entry widgets. Yeah, that's more like it instead of txt. Okay, this is entry as well. Yeah, and the entry widget is a member of member name, the same font size, the same. Okay, get rid of the name. Yeah, get rid of that. Instead, we're going to need, okay, we're going to need a text variable. Text variable that will be equals number 1, this very one here. Paste it there. Right. I also need to define the width, but this is going to be in column 1. Get rid of this. So let's see how it's going to look like. Then I'll just define the width if it doesn't look the way I want. So let's come in here, file, save, run. No, that's wrong. That should be entry. Still have it as widget. Entry. Okay, so let's try it one more time. Run. Okay, that's not long enough. I'm going to just increase the widget so that it can fill up the. Okay, let's fill that up. I'll come in here into comma and the width. Let's grab all of the width somewhere. I'll just type it out, press enter. Width, that is going to be, I'm going to make that maybe about 42. Save, press F5. 42. Very good. So I need another couple of widgets. Yeah, couple more widgets and a label. So I'm going to copy this, copy, paste it right underneath here. And this is going to be second one, number 2. Num2. All of this will be num2, 2, and 2 here. And we have another 2 here. So this is going to be row 1. Row 1. And in here, number 2. There. Okay, so let's save and run. There we go. Enter the first value, second value. Alright, so let's change the variable. This variable should be 2. There, now run. Try that out, you see that? Very good. All right, now the next one is going to be for the label. I want the label to display the result. So this is going to be known as answer. So you copy that, come down here, answer, LBL answer, answer here, and answer here. Now you see this very one. This is rule 1. This will be rule 2, and rule 2 here. But the difference between this entry widget and the other entry widget, I'm going to make this, and we're actually going to disable this very entry widget. So let's say comma. The variable there is going to be for answer though. Let's grab hold of the variable answer. Yeah, come down here and change that to answer. Then the state of it, let's change the state of it to disabled. State equals disabled. There we go. I think I'm done with that. So let's see. Those are the widgets. Let's run it and see. Oh, first of all, okay, let's run it. Very good. You see, this one is disabled. We can't do anything there. We need to change this to answer. Let's go back in here. Just change that to answer. There. Run. Very good. Now, the next one now is to add some buttons here. Okay, so come right down here. This will be for my buttons. But yeah, let's just say buttons there. Okay. See, this way I'm going to add my buttons, but the other thing is I'm going to also need to create one for my functions. Right, so let's say this is going to be for the functions. And here, that will be for buttons. This is for button, and first of all, let's get it focused. Only I want it to get focused right in here. Self dot entry num1 dot focus. So when the system starts, you will see the cursor right in here. Okay, let's try that out. Run. I should be able to see the cursor right there. Look at the cursor. I believe you guys can see something flashing in there. Okay, here. The cursor is flashing there. Right. Now, let's put something together for the button. So that's going to be self dot, let's say btn, the button, validate. Yeah, something like that equals button, and this button is going to be a child of this frame that is called button widget. Is that there? Okay, so let's grab hold of this font, dump it right there. Now, the width. Let's make the width something a little bit manageable. I'm going to make that maybe about 12 for now. Right, and okay, we also need to, there's a command. Let me give it the text. It have to be in there. I'm just going to call it maybe validate. Validate, comma, then BG, that is the background color for that button. You can also make that, yeah, this one. Get that blue, yeah, why not paste that there. That is the button color, and I'm just going to run that off now. Come right here and just say dot read. That is going to be row, yeah, row 0, column 0. Row 0, column 0. That's for my first button. I'm going to need 3 of those. Copy this, paste. That's button number 2. and this one is going to be for reset. So this button will be called reset, et on reset, and row 0, column 1, and the last one is going to be exit. Copy, paste for exit, exit there, and change this to exit, and that will be column 2. Okay, that's for the buttons. So I'm just going to try it out and see how that looks like as well. Then we then put together a function. There we go. Look at the buttons. I think I need to increase the width of that little button. I made that 12. We can just space it out a little bit. Let's get it padded. Let's say warmer. Let's say equals maybe 10. Just want to see how that looks like. If it doesn't work, then we'll change it to something else. Save, press F5. Let's see. Okay, there's a bit of room in there. And let's do one more thing. Increase the size of the button to about 15 by 15 by 15. Save, run. Okay, 15 seems to be too much. Let's reduce the size in here to maybe 8, 8, 8, 8. Save, press F5. Okay, almost there. That's good. Now, you see this button? I'm going to kind of like add height to it. Maybe make that about 2, something like that. Where is the width? Here. Height equals 2. Repeat the same thing here. Okay, run. Okay, wrong spelling. Let's change that. Correct that. That should be TH. Okay, HT. Now run one more time. There we go. Look at that. Okay. All right, that's good. So that is fine. The next thing is let's put some functions together. So the very first one, a very easy one, is going to be for the reset. So I can grab hold of all of these and just call that reset. Copy that, come right down here. It's where my function will be. Function reset, paste, and let's get it reset. Just change this to set, following to empty. That's all. Okay, first of all, let's it's empty here, and that is for function reset down. So we just ask it to return. Okay, and when it resets, I want it to, before it returns, I want it to set focus. Let's see, set focus and call that very function. Let's go to resets command. So right here, I want to add, let's say, command equals reset. Okay, I've just called that very function. So let's run that. Run. Enter some value in there. Reset. Oh, let's see. Go back in here. Oh, look at the error here. Instead of equals, that should have been dots. Yeah. Dot reset. Okay, all right, that's the error sorted. So let's run it and see. Enter some value in there. Resets, okay, and look at the cost of flashing in there. All right, reset is taken care of. Now let's take care of another easy one. That is going to be the exit. So I'm going to call that exit. So come right down here, just enter the following lines of code for exit there. For those of you who are used to my tutorial, you would have been seeing me writing exit using the same method. Okay, I feel is more professional to give the user an option, okay, prompting them to confirm if they want to exit or not. Right, so we just need to enter our exit statement in there. First of all, enter your title. Let's just say numeric. No, no, numeric. Okay, then comma. I'm just going to say confirm if you want to exit. So that is a statement to my user. Then the next thing I do is using a conditional statement. I'm going to say if I exit equals the value of 0 or less than greater than 0, then we can just say root dot destroy. There we go. And come back and get it returned. And that is exits taken care of. So I'm going to now call these exits. Okay, so come right down here. Let's copy this. And that is the second function taken care of. Paste that in here. And just call it I exit. There we go. So I'm going to run that. Run. Try exit out. Confirm if you want to exit. No. Confirm if you want to exit. Yes. So exit works. Very good. And finally, the main function of the day is number. Let's say number only. Number only. Okay, let's just say num only. That's the function for today. Okay, so for this function, I'm going to declare two local variable. Item 1, that is going to be equals get whatever we have in here. Okay, so let's just grab all of this, paste, change it to get. That is for number 1, item number 1. So number 2 is going to get that as well. Let's create another one, item 2, get whatever we have in here, change that to 2. And now let's validate both items, whatever we have in there. If item 1 dot is digit and item 2 dot is digit, let's do that. In that case, item number 3, item 3, that is going to be equals int, or you can make that float if you want. For this tutorial, you can just say int. So let's say plus item number 2, integer plus item number 2, the 2 in here. Okay, and answer will go straight into this very one. Say answer paste equals item 3. There we go. All right. Then you can just ask the system to return. Return. That's true. Else, it's going to generate an error. We can just display an error message. I'm going to grab hold of all of these, paste that underneath here, enter column in here, forget, and get it indented, clear all of these. I also want it to return maybe false. Okay, get it indented, return that is false. There we go. Right. Okay, we don't need to call this very function inside the button validates. This right here. Shift to comma and command equals number only. There. Okay, let's try this out now. All right, let's click on run. So have a good look at the lines of codes. I'm going to run it now. File, saved, enter invalid data in there. That should have been, I need to change that to invalid data, okay, because I copied that. All right, so I'm going to say yes, it's invalid. Get rid of that. So enter the correct data. All right, there we go. That's fine. Reset, exit, yes. So let's go back in there. So in here, instead of confirm, I'm just going to say invalid data. Invalid data. And I'll just enter another thing here. Let's say invalid data. Enter the correct details, something like that. Invalid data. Maybe numbers only. Numbers only, please. Something like that. That would do. Okay, that's corrected. Run. Enter invalid data. Invalid data. Number only. Numbers only, please. Okay, that is good. So let's assume that is taken care of. But one thing that I notice is invalid data. If I say no, it's work. So I'm going to change the message. You see here, instead of ask, that should be show warning dot show, show warning. Yeah, warning. There we go. Yeah, that should do it. Let's run this. There we go. That's fine. So guys, now you know how to ensure that you enter the correct value within a text widget. So before I go guys, can you please subscribe to my channel, and you can also join to become a member of the channel. So I'm going to say bye for now, and thanks for watching. You all have a nice day now.